And today we are coming with a switchblade knife from Sierra Leone, West Africa. Actually, the button is jammed because a lot of the places I go to pick up weapons, I promise I'm not a violent person, but it's not the highest quality, so it's kind of jammed right now. So right now it's technically a fixed blade knife. Fun little oddity about this is the same knife that the Joker used in Batman. How cool is that? Now that we've got that out of our system, we're gonna be talking about what makes a project work, and basically the three phases that you are going to be going through as a nonprofit storyteller. First, there's pre-production, then there's actual production, and then there is post-production. Now, the first thing you need to know about the nonprofit charity filmography world is that we do not follow the conventional Hollywood way of doing things. You're gonna be going out on film shoots and you're gonna be hungry. You're going to be eating at Taco Bell and Jack in the Box to cut costs. You're gonna be hopping on a plane to Peru, and you will not have a fully catered meal. So let's just get that out of the way. You're gonna have to turn and burn some of these projects for the sake of staying within a budget. Now, with that being said, these projects are the most meaningful projects you will ever create in your entire life. So let's actually walk through the first of the three phases, which is pre-production. Pre-production is basically preparation. This is when you get all of your gear together. So you get your camera and make sure that everything's polished up, no dust on any of the lenses. Make sure all your batteries are fully charged. Make sure everything is dumped from the micro SD cards or SD cards or whatever memory you have, but basically make sure you're going in with a clean slate. You won't believe how many times I go out into the field and there's a card that I haven't dumped any of the footage. That's bad. Make sure that you are ready to rock. And other things that you might need, maybe if you have a drone, maybe if you need a tripod, and basic video type things. If in fact you don't have any of those video type equipment, maybe you just have a smartphone, for example, and that's okay, but just make sure that you have enough memory on there, and also make sure that once you're actually filming, you are filming in horizontal mode. Do not film with your smartphone in vertical mode. Just don't do it. Do not ever do that right now, okay? All right, promise. Now we're going to move into actual production. This is when you are boots on the ground. And so whether you are actually in a foreign country or you are going to a church, for example, or church function, you are there. Now the first thing you need to do is communicate what you are doing, because a lot of people are going to be seeing that there's a stranger there with a camera. And that, for some reason, makes people uncomfortable. You won't believe how many times I've had 911 called on me because I'm walking around with a video camera. I could have a full-on gun and people would be like, ah, whatever, he's with security. But you have a camera? That weirds people out for some reason. In West Africa, I was flat out accused for being a spy because I had a camera. I was like, well, if I was a spy, I was a really bad spy because I was just standing there on a street corner with a camera. I was like, come on, guys, I'd at least try to hide if I was a spy. But anyway, tell people what you're doing. And that's very intentional and something that we learned at Knok Studio, and that is to, once you communicate what you're doing, they're on your team. They're on your side. Beforehand, the people who are watching you, they don't know what you're doing, and they immediately assume the worst. And because, well, let's be honest, everybody has taken a bad picture before. Not because they're not photogenic, but because they've had a bad photographer. And that's very key. Some people say, I'm not photogenic. Yes, you are. Everybody at some point will take a bad photo. I guarantee you during this video, if you were to freeze it, you will find one of my facial expressions doing this. And that's not me being not photogenic. That's the photographer or videographer's fault for finding that clip and publishing that out there and embarrassing me, the subject. So you need to somehow tell people that they can trust you. And the two things that I love to tell them is, one, I'm on your side. And two, I'm here to make you look good, which usually elicits a bit of laughter. Usually they say, oh, good luck on that. But during the production phase, just go up to someone and tell them what you're doing. Even if it's a security guard, they're looking at you and they're there standing in front of a bank in Nepal and like, what are you doing? You go up and you say, hey, I'm Bo Shevasu. I'm just filming a video about how wonderful your country is and basically what this ministry over here is doing for the orphans on the streets. Once you tell them that information, they're your best friend. They may even help you and say, awesome, hey, come into my home. I have some information about this ministry as well, or these orphans. And you won't believe how many barriers that breaks down once you actually communicate what you are doing. So once again, the two things you can tell them are, well, you can trust me, and two, I'm here to make you look good. And they laugh and like, ah, great, okay, rock and roll. The last thing to do, so we're at pre-production, we're at production, so let's assume that you did all the filming and everything. And lastly is post-production, and this is when you get back home, you get back to your office, wherever you are dumping all the footage, and you immediately, right when you walk through the door, get all of the memory, even if it's late at night, get all of the memory and start dumping it and back it up onto hard drives. Because I guarantee you, you're gonna be exhausted the next day and you're gonna be like, where is that footage of mine? It's still on my camera. Did I erase that? Did I format over that? So just a great rule of thumb, walk through the door, dump the footage. Then once you are actually done dumping the footage, then you can actually start organizing it. Some people like to tag and label things. I have a somewhat weird way of going about and editing, which we're gonna be covering that in the next few videos. But for now, that's just a big picture of the three phases. And there's a lot of details in each of those phases, which we will get into, but I just wanted to give you a big bird's eye view of pre-production, production, and post-production. Those are the three money, the three cords on the rope. A cord of 3 strands is not easily broken. What is that? That's biblical. But that's it from Knok Studio. If you guys love these lectures, hop on over to Patreon, send us a few dollars, if not $100 a month, which would be absolutely awesome. That's actually what we need to cover our costs. So hop over there. We've got a whole bunch of fun things that we're publishing exclusively for the Patreon community. We're a nonprofit 501c3 charity studio producing film for other charities. Now go out, capture impact, and broadcast love.